You might have just dragged the progress bar back a few times, or you're already wondering, is this another generic self-help video? Should I keep scrolling or not? And now you're even thinking about the fact that you're overthinking whether you should keep watching. Yeah, this one is for you. Most people assume that overthinking is just worrying too much. Some nervous habit, like biting your nails. Except instead of your nails, it's every social interaction you've had since 2009. But that framing completely misses what's actually happening inside the minds of people who can't seem to turn their thoughts off. Once you understand the real mechanism behind it, you'll probably feel something you haven't felt in a long time. The relief of finally being understood. Let's get straight to it. Your brain has a network that scientists call the default mode network. It fires up the moment you stop focusing on the outside world, triggering introspection, imagining the future, replaying the past, and analyzing social situations. In chronic overthinkers, this network runs loud, constantly, and exhaustingly loud. But the more important question isn't which brain network is involved. It's why it won't stop, and what it's actually trying to achieve. Because your brain isn't malfunctioning, it's performing an incredibly sophisticated task. It's trying to protect you through endless simulation. There's a crucial difference here. Productive reflection moves you toward a conclusion and actually solves problems. In contrast, psychologist Susan Nolan-Hoeksema spent decades studying what she called rumination, cycling through the same thoughts repeatedly without ever arriving anywhere. You're not problem-solving. You're rehearsing the problem over and over, in slightly different versions, none of which actually help. Her research showed that rumination doesn't just feel bad in the moment, it actively amplifies negative emotions and significantly increases your risk of developing depression over time. The thinking doesn't process the emotion, it preserves it, like trapping it in amber. The frustrating irony is that you keep thinking because a part of you deeply believes, if I just think long and hard enough, I'll eventually find the thought that makes everything okay. Sadly, you usually won't. Yet, you'll still try anyway, at 2 a.m., when you have to wake up at 7. Many overthinkers grew up in environments where uncertainty felt dangerous, not in some dramatic, traumatic way, but in everyday life. Never knowing what mood someone would be in, or whether you were correctly reading the room, your brain learned very early that thinking ahead was how you stayed safe. It was smart. It was adaptive. The problem is that you're still using that same survival system in situations where it's no longer needed, at the grocery store over a single text message, or in a meeting when someone's facial expression was slightly off. And now you're building an entire case file in your head. Your brain doesn't distinguish between a real threat and a social scenario you've over-indexed on. Cortisol is cortisol. Your body's stress response is real. One particularly common form of overthinking is almost entirely about other people. Specifically, how they perceive you. You constantly run mental simulations. What are they feeling right now? Did they take that the wrong way? Did I accidentally hurt someone? Before sending a message, you're not just editing the wording. You're trying to account for every possible interpretation. Picture this: canceling plans with someone. A normal person types, "Sorry, can we reschedule?" and hits send in about 9 seconds. And you write it with "sorry," then delete it because it sounds like you did something wrong. Then you worry it sounds too cold, so you add it back. You stare at the word "reschedule," wondering if it sounds presumptuous. You write 3 completely different versions. Send one to a friend for a second opinion. And after somewhere between 12 and 25 minutes, you finally send something almost identical to your first draft. Then you immediately reread it, wondering how it landed. The cruelest part is that this hyper-awareness of others often means overthinkers are the last people to give themselves the same compassion they freely offer everyone else. You'll spend 40 minutes convincing a friend they're not a burden, then lie awake at night convincing yourself that you are the burden. Same mind, completely different rules. There's also a fascinating phenomenon demonstrated by psychologist Daniel Wegner in the famous white bear experiment. He told participants not to think about a white bear. They managed to suppress it for a while, but the moment the suppression period ended, the thought came flooding back, even stronger than if they had never tried to push it away. Every time you tell yourself just stop overthinking, or someone helpfully says, "Don't worry about it," your brain neurologically sets up a rebound effect that makes the thought return even more intensely. Interestingly, many overthinkers have no trouble making quick decisions about things they don't really care about, like what to eat tonight. But when it comes to the things that truly matter, relationships, choices loaded with consequence, everything grinds to a halt. This tells you something important. Overthinking isn't random noise. It maps almost perfectly onto what you value most, what you're afraid of losing, who you love, and who you want to be seen as. Your anxiety's desperately trying to communicate what matters to you, just in the worst possible way. People who overthink also tend to have a complicated relationship with rest. You enjoy it in theory, but stillness removes the one tool that keeps your thoughts manageable: distraction. The moment you sit down, try to relax, or attempt to sleep, the backlog floods in. So you stay busy, because that's the only volume control you've found that kind of works. Over time, it becomes harder and harder to simply be somewhere without immediately wanting to escape the feeling of just existing. Understanding why you overthink doesn't magically make it stop. And it's not supposed to. Awareness is simply the point, where you can start asking better questions. What is this thought actually trying to protect me from? And does that threat still exist? Most of the time, the answer is no. The danger your brain is scanning for may have disappeared years ago. What remains is a very well-practiced habit. The goal isn't to achieve a completely quiet mind that may never happen, and chasing it only adds another layer of frustration. The real goal is to build a more honest relationship with your thoughts. When the spiral starts, you can look at it and say, "I see what you're doing. I know why you're doing it, and right now, I'm going to decide how much of my evening you actually get." That's not a small thing. That's most of it. One last note, and I only recommend things I would actually use myself. There's a bundle of 7-day guides and planners designed specifically for people who deal with these exact struggles: clearing mental backlog, rebalancing dopamine so your brain stops craving constant stimulation, actually fixing your sleep instead of just thinking about it, and rebuilding your focus one day at a time. Each guide gives you a concrete daily action, not just more information. I think a lot of you will find it genuinely helpful. The link is in the description and pinned comment. If this resonated with you, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss future videos. You're not alone in this, and your brain isn't broken. It's just unusually thoughtful and deeply caring. Now it's time to learn how to live with it more peacefully.